Intro and hook this right here? This is my entire professional coding setup. It's not some decked out laptop or a monster desktop rig. It's just a tablet. And honestly, over the past year, it has completely taken over for my MacBook Pro for about 90% of my development work. I used to be that guy, the one hauling a 5-pound backpack everywhere. You know the one. It's got the laptop, that comically huge power brick, a mouse, and a whole mess of dongles you can never find when you need them. I was dead set convinced that you couldn't do real development work, the kind that actually pays the bills, on a simple tablet. To me, it was a toy, something for watching movies. Turns out, I was just completely wrong. The secret isn't some $1,000 keyboard case or one magic app. It's really a shift in how you think, combined with a few powerful tools that all work together to create a development environment that's seamless, portable, and keeps you incredibly focused. So today, I'm going to show you the exact apps, the specific setup, and the workflow that turned this simple tablet into my go-to professional workstation. Section 1. The why, redefining the modern workspace. Before we get into the how, let's talk about the why. The old image of a developer hunched over a glowing screen, chained to a heavy laptop, just feels more and more out of date. We live in a world that's all about flexibility. We want to be able to work from a coffee shop, an airport, or even just from the couch without feeling like we're sacrificing our productivity. This isn't about making a compromise. It's about optimizing your setup for the way we work now. The biggest mental block to get over is always the same question. But is a tablet really powerful enough? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Just not in the way you're probably thinking. You have to stop looking at your tablet as a little box that needs to do all the heavy lifting by itself. You need to start seeing it for what it truly is. A super portable, incredibly sharp window into a much more powerful system somewhere else. When you make that mental shift, you don't just get a lighter backpack. You get a setup that's more focused, more modular, and honestly, a lot more robust. You're effectively separating the interface, the screen and keyboard you touch, from the engine that's actually running your code. And that separation is the real key to making this all work. Section 2. The core strategy, a 3-part hybrid approach. So, how do we actually do it? Look, there's no single app that's going to magically turn your tablet into a coding machine. The real answer is a hybrid strategy, built on 3 key parts. Now, depending on your tablet and what you do, you might lean on one part more than the others, but it's how they work together that creates a complete system. The first part is optimized local development. This is for your quick edits, for when you're offline, and for any task where you just want native, on-device speed. This is where your code editors and other on-device tools are going to live. The second, and I'd argue the most important, part is cloud-based development. This is the real game changer. This is where we use the insane power of the cloud to do all the hard work, compiling huge projects, running complex databases, and even hosting our entire dev environment. It's like having a supercomputer on demand. The third part is what I like to call the true terminal experience. For so many of us, the command line is everything. This part is all about getting a real, no compromises Linux terminal on your tablet, so you can use all the tools you already know and love, like Git, NPM, and your favorite shell scripts. Put these 3 together, and you get a system that's more flexible and in a lot of ways, even more powerful than a classic laptop setup. Section 3. Part 1. Local development powerhouses. Let's start with local development. Even though the cloud is going to be our workhorse, having solid tools right on the device is essential for speed and convenience. If you're on an Android tablet, you've got a ton of great options. My go-to for quick jobs is an editor called a code. It's clean, lightweight, and way more powerful than you'd expect. It's got syntax highlighting for pretty much any language you can think of, a built-in file browser, and it even connects directly to GitHub. For a front-end dev making a quick change or tweaking a script, it's amazing. Of course, there are other great ones out there, like Droid Edit and Quick Edit, which have similar features and support for tons of languages. But what if you want to do more than just edit text? What if you want to build an actual Android app on your Android tablet? For that, you've got Aid, which stands for Android Integrated Development Environment. This is a full-on IDE that lets you write code in Java or C++, visually design your layouts, compile, and run real Android apps, all on your tablet. It even has real-time error checking and code completion. Now, let's be realistic. You're not going to compile a massive, enterprise-level app on your tablet with these tools. Local development shines for smaller projects, learning something new, making emergency fixes, and hammering out prototypes. For the really big jobs, we need to look to the cloud. Mid-roll CTA. Hey, if this is starting to click and you're seeing the possibilities here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out, and it makes sure you don't miss what's coming next. Because this next part, this is the one that makes this setup work on literally any tablet, and yes, that includes iPads. Section 4. Part 2. The cloud is your supercomputer. This is the secret weapon. This is the ingredient that makes the any tablet claim in the title actually true. I'm talking about cloud-based development environments, and the undisputed king of the hill right now is GitHub Codespaces. Here's the concept in a nutshell. Instead of running your code on your own machine, Codespaces fires up a powerful, private virtual machine for you in the cloud. Then, you just access that machine through your tablet's web browser. What you see is a full-featured, buttery smooth versus code experience, with all your extensions, all your settings, and a fully working terminal. The benefits here are huge. First, it completely erases the performance problem. Your little tablet isn't compiling your code. A beast of a server at GitHub is. That means even a cheap tablet can handle a massive, resource-hungry project without even blinking. Second, it works on anything. Because all you need is a web browser, you get the exact same professional setup on an Android tablet, an iPad, or a Microsoft Surface. Just think about what that means. You can start coding on your desktop, then grab your tablet and pick up exactly where you left off at a coffee shop. You can see a new pull request, launch a codespace right from it to test the changes, and commit a fix without ever cloning the code to your machine. It completely standardizes the dev environment for a whole team, getting rid of that classic, well, it works on my machine, headache for good. This isn't some watered-down, mobile version of your workflow. For a lot of developers, this is their main workflow now. It's faster, it's more secure, and it's infinitely more flexible. Section 5. Part 3. Unleashing a true Linux terminal. Alright, for the final piece of the puzzle. The one that usually quiets down the skeptics who live and breathe in the command line. Termux. Termux is an Android terminal emulator and Linux environment app, but honestly, calling it an emulator really doesn't do it justice. It gives you a shockingly complete Linux command line environment, living right on your tablet. Quick tip. When you first install it, always run package update and then package upgrade to get everything current. With Termux, you can do pretty much anything you'd do in a normal Linux terminal. You can install packages with its package manager. You can clone repos with Git, manage files with ls, cp, and mv, and edit code in classic editors like Nano or Vim. You can install and run scripting languages like Python and Node.js, which means yes, you can run npm install and fire up a local server. You can even use tools like curl to test APIs straight from your tablet. For any developer who relies on shell scripts, command line tools, and Git, Termux is the app that turns an Android tablet from a pretty capable device into a legit professional one. It bridges that gap between a mobile OS and a traditional dev machine, giving you the raw power and control you're used to. Section 6. Bringing it all together, the full workflow. So, we have our 3 parts. How do they actually work together day to day? It really comes down to using the right tool for the job. If I need to make a quick CSS tweak on a website, I'll just pop open the project in the code editor, make the change, and push it back to Git. It's fast, simple, and efficient. But if I'm starting a big new feature on a complex React app, I'll open GitHub, launch a codespace for that specific branch, and dive into a full power environment right in my browser. And what about those pro tasks that go beyond just writing code? That's where Android's own power comes into play. By enabling developer options, which you can do by heading to your settings, finding the build number, and just tapping it 7 times, you get access to a whole new suite of tools. You can turn on USB debugging to connect your tablet to a computer with a DB for deep-level logging and app profiling. And, of course, let's be real. None of this is comfortable without the right gear. A good Bluetooth keyboard is non-negotiable. Trying to type code on a glass screen is a nightmare. A mouse or trackpad also makes a world of difference, especially when you're trying to navigate a full IDE in your browser. Conclusion: so, can any tablet really replace your developer laptop? My answer is a confident yes, but with one little asterisk. It forces you to completely rethink what a development environment even is. It's no longer about one single, all-powerful machine. It's about using a flexible, portable screen to access power wherever it makes the most sense. Sometimes that's on the device, but more and more, it's in the cloud. This setup isn't a compromise. For me, it has become a strategic choice for a more mobile, flexible, and honestly, more focused way of working. By combining great local editors like a code, the basically infinite power of cloud IDEs like GitHub Codespaces, and the command line freedom of Termux, a simple tablet really does become an incredibly capable workstation. You might not want to code for 8 hours straight on it just for ergonomic reasons, but the fact that you can do real, professional work on it is undeniable. So that's my setup and the tools that make it all possible. Now I want to hear from you. What does your mobile coding setup look like? Have you found any amazing apps or workflows that have been a game changer for you? Smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more tech challenges, future experiments, and real talk from TechWave 65. So that's my setup and the tools that make it all possible. Now I want to hear from you. What does your mobile coding setup look like? Have you found any amazing apps or workflows that have been a game changer for you? Smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more tech challenges, future experiments, and real talk from TechWave 65. Ask ChatGPT. So that's my setup and the tools that make it all possible. Now I want to hear from you. What does your mobile coding setup look like? Have you found any amazing apps or workflows that have been a game changer for you? Smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more tech challenges, future experiments, and real talk from TechWave 65. Your thoughts and your favorite tools in the comments below. I promise I read every single one.